Srimati Abhirajita Soranki.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I consider it to be my privilege to be able to speak in this August House on the budget, our government's budget, which was presented by Madam Nirmala Sitharaman on July the 5th. Sir, this particular budget is a reflection of the extraordinary balance between intent and content, vision and provision. Sir, I'm reminded of a line from Victor Hugo, the French poet. He had said, "No power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come." Now, I'll definitely like to put in here that the time of crystallization of Honorable Prime Minister's idea of New India has come. And this particular budget provides the building blocks for New India. Sir, if you hear the budget or you read the budget, 5 words actually stand out, very powerful words. One is aspirational, number 2 is structural, number 3 is transformational, number 4 is inclusive, and number 5 is sustainable. It's a highly aspirational budget. We are talking of $5 trillion economy, which would be achieved by 2024. But at the same time, this particular aspiration is an affirmation of Prime Minister's slogan, reform, perform and transform. And this is something which Prime Minister is not leaving for the successive government to realize. He's basically hinting at, he's calling upon the collective will of the people of India, collective strength of the people of India, and collective energy of the people of India to transform our country into a middle-level economy. So, sir, from here, I would definitely like to list out some of the points. There is paucity of time, I understand, but I would definitely like to place before you some of the issues that actually are brought out very well in this particular budget of ours. Sir, there is a discourse, there is a declaration of rupees 100 lakh crore for infrastructure development by 2024. Now, the budget speech also talks of a formation of an expert committee which will look into the ways and means of resource mobilization, which is definitely a very good step in the right direction. So, third thing, I was quite amused in the morning when Honorable Member Mr. Sashi Tharoor talked of Soot Burti Sarkar. This particular budget is focused on dwelling upon Gaon, Garib or Kisan. The other day during the weekend, I had been to my constituency to one of the villages, and many villagers were there. And one of the villagers stood up and said, "We are getting 5 things from the central government. One is the toilet. Number 2 is the cooking gas facility. Number 3 is roof overhead. Number 4 is electricity. And number 5, piped water supply by 2024. What more do we need? Apno jaiki आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री को आमरो धन्यवाद कही देबे. Please go to Delhi and convey our gratitude to Honorable Prime Minister. This is the message from the villages of my constituency, Bhubaneswar in Odisha. So we are talking of new education policy. We are talking of a higher education commission. And this particular commission, sir, it's very much required. In fact, if we are talking of getting all the students from foreign countries, as many students as possible, come to India and study. This is a very welcome move, very welcome initiative of Government of India. Sir, I would like to place before the House that by rough estimates, $8 billion to $10 billion are spent by Indian students who are studying outside. So if we are able to have academic excellence here, institutes of academic excellence, our children will not go outside and children from outside will come here, so we will be earning foreign exchange and we will be saving our foreign exchange. The budget also talks of the National Research Foundation. Now, National Research Foundation is a right step in the right direction. We have to fund, we have to coordinate, and we have to promote research and development in the country. Sir, I would like to point out here that this is a very timely intervention of the government, and we must commend the efforts of the government and Honorable Finance Minister for this, because we, India, is 0.88% of the expenditure, whereas Sweden is 4.1% expenditure. USA is 2.8% expenditure, and I think it's China, which is 2.1% expenditure. So it's the right time to think about promotion of research and development in the country. We need to align with the emerging areas of biotechnology, bioengineering, robotics, and artificial intelligence, which this particular government, our government, is planning to do in the days to come. Sir, I would like to talk about the self-help groups. I would like to talk about the PMGSY. I would like to talk about the green budgeting. No, never ever we heard of green budgeting. As far as SHGs are concerned, in fact, my predecessor, the earlier speaker from my party has already said, in fact, it's a wonderful thing. We are going one step ahead of the National Rural Livelihood Mission. We are talking of rupees 5,000 overdraft. We are talking of 1 lakh rupees to one particular SHG member under the Mudra scheme. And we are talking of interest subvention for the entire country in all the districts. This is a very welcome step. And I would also like to mention about the PMGSY, sir. Right now, the other day, Honorable Finance Minister spoke on the floor of the House, and she mentioned that as far as PMGSY is concerned, we have started constructing 130 kilometers to 135 kilometers of roads per day. And keeping in view the fact that this is a wonderful intervention of government, connecting all the roads, all the farm networks, connecting our farmers to the market. Sir, this particular government, our government, has actually earmarked 80,250 crore, and it will be constructing 1,25,000 kilometer roads in the days to come. And I would also like to mention here about the green budgeting. We are talking of solid waste management. We are also talking of plastic waste in the PMGSY roads, the usage of plastic waste. These are very welcome initiatives. We are talking of reducing of GST, bringing down GST from 12% to 5% so that consumers can afford the electric vehicles. So these are very welcome steps, path-breaking initiatives, and Honorable Prime Minister and the entire team needs to be commended for this initiative. And sir, let me honestly tell you, I was hearing all my friends since morning. We were all sitting and we were all listening to them. Sir, let us all work together in such a manner that we unitedly disprove that cynicism is the national disease of India. We should not be cynics. We should not be pessimists. In fact, sir, I'm reminded of Helen Keller. The other day I was going through one of the books. No pessimist ever discovered the secrets of the stars or sailed to an uncharted land or opened a new heaven to the human spirit. Let us not be pessimists. Let us be optimists. Let us commend, let us rise to commend, and let us say that this is a wonderful budget. Sir, I'll take a couple of minutes, just allow me. The recapitalization of banks by pumping 70,000 crore is a wonderful initiative, I must say this, because we are also ensuring credit flow, and we are also ensuring that there are greater levels of private investment. This is something which we really need to commend the government about. Agriculture sector, sir. I'll just take 2-3 minutes more. Agriculture sector. So if you look at the budget, this is the highest ever allocation in agriculture sector. And how do we call it? Sood Bhoot Ki Sarkar. How do we call it? How do we call it the Sarkar of big businessmen? We are talking of Garib, we are talking of Kisan, we are talking of Gaon, we are talking of vendors in the urban areas. We are talking of youth. We are talking of women. All the vulnerable sections of society are being taken care of. Agriculture, sir. Sir, I would like to mention here that huge budget, the highest ever allocation, which includes 87,000 crore under the PM Kisan Nidhi scheme, which is a very welcome step. We are talking of reforms through ENAM. We are talking of reforms through in the APMCs. These are wonderful steps. We are talking of 10,000 farmer producers organizations, which are wonderful steps. And so let me put in here, this particular government, this particular budget is different from other budgets of pre-2014 governments. There are two things here I would like to mention here. We are not talking of vast schemes and grandiose theories. Vast schemes and grandiose theories, Speaker Sir, will not achieve the same benefits as the accumulation of smaller, consistent, attainable goals. This particular budget indicates that our country should be an example of what the sum would look like when all the smaller parts that actually work are added up. This is extremely important, sir. I just wanted to mention this. Sir, Jal Shakti, 1 minute more, sir. Sir, I understand I'm killing the time, but I'm really very, very thankful to the entire team of Honorable Finance Minister under the direction of Honorable Prime Minister. A wonderful document has been prepared, sir. This particular budget is a great document. And sir, let me honestly tell you, this particular budget, it's not a collection of numbers. In the morning, some of my friends were saying, where are the numbers? Earlier there were numbers, there are no numbers. So it's not a question of giving numbers. It's an expression of the values and aspirations of our government, of our people. So this budget is of a very high quality, and we should commend the government for it. Sir, 1 minute more. Since I work in the Rural Development Department for 5 years, I was handling Manrega, sir. I had the privilege of handling Manrega, sir. We were talking of the water conservation, PM-KSY, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. We were talking of per drop more crop of Honorable Prime Minister. It was his idea. And sir, we have graduated to the next level now. We are consolidating all the departments working in ivory towers of isolation, and we are talking of a Jal Shakti Mantralaya, which is a wonderful initiative. Sir, if there is a third world war, it is said it will be around water. The depleting water levels we are aware of. We are aware of the erratic monsoon, and we are aware of there are many questions in the Lok Sabha, sir. In the last couple of days, I'm seeing on the issue of less water in the reservoirs. So we are going to face a terrible water crisis. And sir, just think of the foresightedness of this government, our government. I'm so proud I'm part of this government. I'm so proud I'm part of Honorable Prime Minister's team. This particular government has understood the need for working towards water conservation and water management, and that is why the Jal Shakti Mantralaya, and that is why all provisioning for ensuring piped water supply to every household by 2024, sir, it reflects courage of conviction. It's very difficult. We are talking of 7 lakh villages. We are talking of 69% of population of our country, and what courage of the government to say that these 5 things, I counted, sir, these 5 things will be given to each household. I will repeat, sir. We are talking of toilet, we are talking of cooking gas, we are talking of electricity, we are talking of a roof overhead, and we are talking of piped water supply. What more do we require? It requires courage of conviction, which has been shown by the government in vast measure, sir. And this particular budget needs all appreciation, sir. Houses.
Now conclude.
Sir, 1 minute more, sir. 1.56 crore houses, earlier done, 1.95 crore houses being done, sir. Again, we are taking targets and we are monitoring, sir. Sir, last but not the least, I find there is sustainability and there is continuity in this budget. This is not a standalone budget. There was this great government from 2014 to 2019. Many initiatives were taken. We want to solidify. We are not talking of vast schemes and grandiose theories. We want to ensure that all these endeavors, all these exercises that were taken earlier, the schemes that had been started by Honorable Prime Minister, continue. So that is it, sir. And sir, let me end by saying, this is obviously off the mark, but please allow me, because I represent Bhubaneswar and I represent Odisha, and I'm very proud of it. I must say that, very humbly I would put in that my state, Odisha, should be part of the National Nutrition Mission and should adopt Ayushman Bharat. The state government has not actually gone into these 2 schemes, although central government has been telling the state government to be part of National Nutrition Mission and Ayushman Bharat. I just pray to God that good sense prevails and the state governments decides to be part of these two schemes. So, sir, with this, I would definitely say that this particular budget is a pragmatic budget, and there is absolutely no reason why anybody would criticize this budget. There is absolutely no reason, sir. It's rhetoric, it's words, it's verbose. We just keep standing and saying anything about this budget, sir. This is one of the best budgets, and this is the best budget because it talks of farmers, it talks of youth, it talks of rural artisans, it talks of small shopkeepers. Sir, our small shopkeepers, our vendors are also being taken care of. Thank you very much.